I know everything about you. I know where your values lie. I know if you've got children. I know absolutely everything about you.
I'm waiting for them to get out my St Joseph's Camperdown kindy book to say that I wasn't. I misbehave in one of Sister Mary's classes there at Camperdown. I mean, it's absurd.
If they could find a way to get the animals to pay tax, I reckon they would. And this is part of the reason, of course, that cash is sort of going out of vogue now. And I've been glad to see in the last couple of weeks the RBA actually warning of the dangers of what will happen if you remove tax from the system. But it's, you know, every day it feels like another cog falls out. Today we learned that 7-Eleven is now going to start ripping ATMs out of their shops. So, you know, it just becomes even harder to get your hands on cash. Supermarkets in the last month or so have been reducing the amount you can withdraw when you go along. I mean, you know, we're basically being forced into it, right? You can't have... I like cash for punting, but, you know, I won't be able to do it anymore.
I can understand why 7-Eleven are making this move. Clearly, the hire on the machine exceeds the amount of revenue they're getting from transactions because people aren't using ATMs. So we understand that.
But we aren't using it because it's like $5 to access
$2.50 at a 7-Eleven, yeah.
They're gerrymandering what we see happen.
This is an area where I think the government should legislate to keep open bank branches and keep ATMs operating because...
We need a better government.
Yeah, but the government doesn't want them to be open.
Because this is part of their agenda.
Well, if it was a decent government, they would be upholding two things. Number one, people's personal freedom, upon which cash depends.
100%.
And ATM and cash is an insurance policy against hacking or electronic malfunction, which would shut everything down. So this is an area where the government should be legislating to stop cash being absented from
I agree, they ought to, but it's in their interest not to. I mean, if they can track where you're spending, they know what you're doing, they know if you're money laundering, they know if you're avoiding tax.
Absolutely, and I think about every dollar of taxpayers' money that I spend.
If I know what you spend, where and when, I know everything about you. I know where your values lie, I know if you've got children, I know absolutely everything about you.
But there are some not taking this seriously enough. Do it, or Victorians will die.
And again, this is part of Agenda 2030. They have laid it out for you. They've already told you this is what we're going to do and why. It's all about control. That's why people need to keep using cash. Keep using cash. Withdraw it. Keep doing it, no matter how hard they make it for you, because the more we keep it in circulation, the harder we make it for them to just go, you know what, everyone's doing pay pass anyway, which is, of course, the massive majority of transactions nowadays, because they have increasingly made it so hard and inconvenient. You can go to a cafe these days and people will literally refuse to take cash.
They don't want
cash. There's no cash here. Here, there's no cash, all right? Cash, no. Robbo? No cash.
I went to a dentist, and this is how awesome she is recently, and the receptionist literally says, cash or card? And they encourage cash at the desk, not because anything dodgy is going on.
Right? Wrong.
You're around 5,000.
The guys inside the counting room were all slipped in there to skim the joint dry.
But because they're on board in terms of, you know, butting up against the agenda and being like, no, we encourage people to use cash. Everyone should use cash.
Are you sure they're on board, or they just recognised you and thought, gee, we better offer cash?
No. You can't fake that much signage.
I can't believe you called a dentist awesome. I mean, I can think of nothing worse than going to the dentist, to be perfectly honest. But I feel sorry for the tradies. You know, we know the tradies were probably slipping a couple of extra bucks in their pocket at the end of the day when they got cash.
Sorry, I can't accept cash for this job.
But who cares if they do? If there's a little less tax swimming around in the system, I couldn't give a toss, to be perfectly honest.
I'm a working class lad from my background. I've been shaped by it. I'm someone who I believe is very much in touch with mainstream Australia. I'm comfortable in a boardroom and I'm comfortable in a pub. I would say that there is no one in the Parliament who has closer credentials and more friends in senior members of the business community than myself on either side of politics.